Hello and welcome to our Naviance tutorial on everything you need to know to get through the Naviance process in applying to college. We're just going to walk you through a few things you need to know in terms of sending your transcript, requesting letters of recommendation, and filling out our senior brag packet. So please watch this for all the details when you're getting ready to apply to your colleges. First step is we do need you to sign right on to the Delaware Valley High School's main website. This will take you right over to our guidance department. So that's your first step. Get onto the high school's website, right over to guidance. Once you click on guidance, of course you can use a multitude of things that we have here for your reference, but in this case we really want to use Naviance Family Connections. Again, this is the program we use to track all of our documents. You will not be applying to college through Naviance, but you will be using Naviance to send a lot of your major documents such as your transcript, obviously, any report cards, any letters of recommendation, and all that good stuff. So this is where you go when you want to know how to request a transcript. This is the process. You're going to click right here on the Naviance icon. Remember that your user ID is your student number, and this is the universal password right here. It is case sensitive, so please make sure you are paying attention to that when you sign in. Click on the icon. You're going to sign in. Obviously we already did, so you don't need to worry about that. This is our demo student. So once you sign in, this is the screen you're going to see, the main screen right in Naviance. The first thing we would like you to do, especially if you are a current senior getting ready to apply to colleges, if you're going to be asking teachers for letters of recommendation or expecting your guidance counselor to write any kind of evaluation, which is very common for colleges, you're first going to go right up to About Me. Click on My Surveys. You're going to click on Surveys Not Started. That is going to bring you to our senior brag packet. For today, we're just going to click on Surveys in Progress because we already have started this, but you will be clicking on Surveys Not Started. That will take you right to the brag packet. The brag packet is basically just what we use to assist in writing any letters of recommendation for you. That goes for your teachers as well as your guidance counselors, just as another way for us to get to know you better and to get to know some of your goals. You know, we can certainly write a great letter based on our experiences with you, whether it's in the classroom or through different conversations we have with you, but this only kind of bolsters that letter for you and gives us a little bit of insight into maybe some things that we don't know about you. So don't overthink it, don't go crazy. This does not need to be a major essay, but just, like I said, another way for us to get to know you and add to that letter of recommendation. So if you're asking anyone to do this for you, please make sure that you are updating this senior brag packet first. So obviously fill this out. After an hour, I believe it says, it does not save your information. So please make sure that if you're working on it and you think you're going to be getting close to an hour, make sure you're clicking update so it saves everything. So that's the first step. Then we can go back to the main page here. So that's just to help with, like I said, your letters of recommendation. Next step is colleges. If you're just checking out some colleges, you're doing some research, you're not 100% sure where you're going to be applying, you are more than welcome to click on the colleges I'm thinking about, just to kind of keep a running list of schools you're going to be looking at. If you are a senior and you're getting ready to apply to your colleges, this is the tab you want to go to, colleges I'm applying to. So we're going to click right on there. First step. Some schools, not all of them, so please check that first, use Common App. If you are going to be using the Common App, it is absolutely necessary that you match Naviance with your Common App account. Otherwise, we can't send any of your supporting documents. So your first step here, if you are planning on applying to Common App schools, is to click on the Match Accounts. You'll just scroll down. Use the email address that you used when you signed up for the Common App, as well as your date of birth, and that will allow you to match accounts. Once those accounts are linked, then we will be able to send any of your supporting documents. If you are using Common App, like we said, and you do not match up your accounts, it doesn't allow us to send what you need, it gets delayed, and then nobody's happy. So please make sure, if you are using that Common App, that you get that done first. Other than that, whenever you're adding a school, whether it's Common App or not, you're going to click on this red button here with the plus sign. This is going to give you a drop-down menu where you can choose any school that you plan on applying to. University. Application type. Please make sure you're filling this out. This is just going to tell us when you plan on applying. Do you plan on applying early decision, regular decision? That tells us so that we know when we need to get your materials in by. So it just, again, is another way to communicate with us what you're doing and how we can best help you. After that, and again, this is another very important piece, I'll submit my application. Usually you're given the choice. Sometimes it's just Common App. Sometimes it's just directly to the institution. But if you are given a choice, please don't leave it on this "I'm not sure yet." Please make sure you're letting us know if you're applying directly to the school via their website or using the Common App. The reason we say this is because if you are applying Common App, there are other materials that we need to submit along with your transcript. So this just tells us, okay, there's some other documents we need to get there. If you don't select this, we don't know to add those documents, and then your application won't be complete. So again, please just make sure you're communicating with us. If you have submitted your application already, you are more than welcome to click this button to let us know, hey, I just applied. Please send my supporting documents as soon as possible. If you're ready to request that transcript, which should be shortly after you've applied, add and request transcript. When you are requesting a transcript, the first question is what type? For right now, you're all going to be clicking on the initial transcript. Mid-year transcripts are not being sent until probably around February. Once we finish that first semester, we have all those grades in and those are ready to go. Final, you don't have to worry about. That's when you graduate, and we only send that to the school you're going to, not all the schools you applied to. Please keep in mind, we do not have copies of your SAT and ACT scores. So this is something we can't even send for you. But just for this tutorial's sake, we're going to click on Initial because that's what we're doing right now. You're starting to apply to this school. They've never heard of you before. They need your initial transcript, request, and finish. You just told us that, hey, you applied to Lehigh. You're applying early decision, so we need to make sure we get that in before the deadline. You are applying Common App, so we need to make sure on our end that we're getting your supporting documents together. And then that comes right to your counselors. Your counselors check Naviance every day, and they can make sure they're sending the transcript along with those supporting documents. If there's something missing, they can reach out to you directly and say, hey, you need to do XYZ before we submit what you need. Now, to request letters of recommendation, scroll down a little bit further on this Colleges I'm Applying To screen. Hit Visit Letters of Recommendation section. Add a request. You will be able to select any teacher that we have here in the building. You get to choose. Are you going to ask this teacher to only write you letters for specific colleges? Maybe they're an alumni, maybe they have a special connection to that college, so you want them specifically for one or two colleges in general. Or maybe you just want them to write one that can go to any of your colleges. That's up to you. You get to choose that. Please make sure you are asking your teachers in person first. That's just polite. That's manners. It's always nice to let somebody know in person before they get their request from Naviance. Of course, you can include a personal little note here, submit request, and then your teacher will get an email that tells them, hey, so-and-so needs a letter, and they can submit that directly through Naviance. So hopefully this helps, telling you guys some of the major things that we need to know when we're using Naviance. Again, it's mainly for requesting transcripts, which you're going to do, again, through Colleges I'm Applying To. Make sure you're matching up with Common App if you're using it, and then communicating with us which colleges you're applying to, and also the About Me to do your senior brag packet and to let teachers and your guidance counselors know some extra things we can add to your letter. So hopefully this has been helpful for you guys, but always keep in touch with us and let us know if you need anything else.